What's going on, guys? BladeZilla here, and today we've got a bit of a heavy hitter here. This is the Reate Terminator TX229 in full ZircuTi. An absolute beast of a knife in every sense of the word. A completely unnecessary design in both heft and materials, and I think it is stunningly gorgeous and done very, very well. We've got a number of these coming down the pipe actually on the site in the coming days here, and they may be up now depending on when the launch is, but I guess I'm talking a little too excitedly. They've got, I think, 3, 4, or 5 different configurations of this knife coming, so I've got them all coming. So pretty excited about it, but the main show pony of the batch would be this one in the full ZircuTi configuration, which is just ridiculous. So let's, I guess, get started. Open that guy up with the button. Fun fact, it's lockable. Open it up with the button. Swing that beast of a blade out that, you know, has probably the same capacity of cracking open, you know, splitting wood as it is opening a letter. And I guess, take it in today. This is a beast of a very special knife that we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about today. So I'm really excited. Hopefully you guys are excited. Sit back, relax, grab a Coke, coffee, pop, soda, whatever it is that you're into, wine, filtered and distilled water, I don't care. As a reminder, check out BladeZilla.ca. That's my site. We're in Canada. Lots of good stuff. Just added some WKMs, just added some more F3s, some Arum 111s, some Koenigs, all kinds of good stuff. Obviously lots of Reates, some Chevron stuff from Yan, geez, CKFs. There's all kinds of goodies on BladeZilla.ca right now. But I'm not going to talk about BladeZilla. We're not here to talk about it. You're on the channel. I hope you're aware of the website. And the whole point of today is to talk about this knife, not BladeZilla.ca. So there we go. Where to start today? Well, I'm excited. I'm losing my marbles. My cell phone's going crazy as well. So I guess let's get started on some measurements and then do some comparisons and talk about it. And let's not get too excited. Okay, whew, let's slow it down a bit. What are we at? 8 3/4. Good size. 8 3/4 overall length with a blade length of about 3.5 sharp. Might be a little bit more on the diagonal, but to the center of that choil, you're at 3 3/4, almost 3 5/8, somewhere in that conversation. It's a big knife. 5-inch handle, looks like. So big mambo. On the weight, I'm doing this without a spec sheet, by the way, so I have no clue what this thing's going to weigh in at. I don't even want to guess. It's probably in the 11, 12 ounce conversation. It is very heavy. I don't know if there's any other real way to guess, but it's very heavy. Okay, can I just go ahead and, like, did I really? 11. So I said 11, 12. I was going to say 11. I was going to say 11.0, but no big deal. 11 ounce knife. Beast. Absolute beast. So this is like 4 times the weight of a normal EDC, basically, is the way to look at that. If you're a 3 ounce carry, this is almost 4 times the weight. It is not light. It is not practical, and it is everything you've probably wanted a ZircuTi cool Terminator cleaver to be. I can't get over this. So we've had the T1000s come through. We've had the T6000s come through. Geez, those were cool. And Overbuilt was in. It is in. And during that conversation, I remember saying, like, both of these knives were just so ridiculously unnecessary. I don't know who wants them. And then they just kept going out the door. And people would buy them and send me information that's like, I don't need this. But it's so cool and ridiculous that I can't imagine not having it at this point. So I think they started making more, and now we have the 229 with the sick blade, which we'll talk about. And then now they're doing full dresses. You know, it's not just, hey, let's throw a big clip on it, which is like 2/3 of the length of the knife. let's dress the entire frickin' thing in ZircuTi. I'm lost for words. I'm not normally lost for words because this knife is just so cool, but it is also so ridiculous because nobody asked for it, and that's what made it so cool. Okay, where do we start? Well, this 11-ounce hunk of ZircuTi and this huge, like, what is that, like 10 mil blade? 8 mil blade? It's huge. That's what she said. Let's get that out of the way. Blade's cool. It's got some dimples in it. It's drilled through. Can you flip it open from there? You probably could reverse flick it. You can definitely thumb flick it from the stud. You can definitely flick it from the flipper tab if you unlock it first, which is easy as just locking those pins in like that and utilizing that ZircuTi thumb stud release right there, which just so happens to be made of ZircuTi, I believe, as well. Once again, did anyone ask for that button to be that? I didn't, but it's cool. From a design perspective, you can kind of see the dimpling on the back spacer is kind of the same as what's on the blade. Very similar. You're seeing some markings, the 5 dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 5 dots on the blade. Just really cool overall. The top of the blade's actually a bit of a concave. I don't know if you're going to pick that up on the camera or not, but it's concave. Remember, cave meaning you're going in. So it's a bit concave there for your thumb to rest on. They've got some jimping up top here. I don't know who's really reaching that far, but I guess you can. I find your thumb naturally falls onto this kind of satin top part here, which looks really, really nice. And also just blends really, really well. We've got some holes on top here as well, just to kind of complete that whole design look of just, you know, the holes, the thumbs, the cutout in the blade. It's just cool. It's just plain cool. Blade, perfectly centered. Reate is banging these things out now real nicely. I'm kind of curious to compare them to some production ones on action because this one feels particularly smooth. Even for Reate, it feels very smooth. So I don't know if it's gotten some extra attention or maybe senior staff members at Reate actually assemble them. I don't know. But I think it's very, very cool nonetheless. On the flip side here, we've got more cutouts, holes everywhere. Big pieces of Torx, it looks like T25, T20. Huge hardware. Very well done, obviously. And no complaints from my perspective. It's just an overbuilt, unnecessary beast all around in every sense of the word. The clip, I guess you could argue, okay, there's a lot sticking out of your pocket, but if that's your concern with this knife, about having a knife sticking out of your pocket, I can only imagine carrying this in your pocket at a store and somebody sees you and they're probably thinking you're having a great day. It's big. Yes, it is. I'm kind of curious to see, do these holes on the knife line up when it is open so you see through it? Come on, camera. It looks like they do. That's cool. So you see right through it at a number of angles. That's a cool touch, actually, seeing all those spaces through it. So if they wanted to, they could certainly make this knife heavier by filling in a lot of that, which would kind of take things away. On the actual milling on the inside of the knife, do we want to look at this? Do we want to see if they've done any material? Let's see. Not a lot. Being ZircuTi, you know, give me more. It's pretty plain on the inside, other than those skeletonized holes on the side. We do have some writing here. I can't make out what it says. Can anyone see that? Just on the inside, on the back there. I can't quite see what it actually says. But yeah, we do have some Easter eggs hiding inside, just prior to Easter. Pun intended. Yeah, I don't know what that says. Looks like a logo. No, I can't tell. Can you guys tell? If the camera focuses, maybe you can see it. I can't tell what that says. Anyway, cool enough. Reate on the handle as well. Looks great. Looks really great. That's a good angle right now to kind of see the color. You know, these things they're all different. ZircuTi is going to be all different. It's like a piece of carbon They're just all different. But anyway, I think this is pretty darn sweet. What else? In terms of the details of, well, let's flip this guy over. They are numbered on that blade. Should say M390 down there. And I thought, was it hidden underneath here? I had thought there was an individually numbering on the knife somewhere. Maybe that was on the inside of this, and maybe I would have totally expected it to be on the blade here, but it's totally not. So I don't know where that actually is. That's an interesting question. Something that you should probably figure out in advance of filming a video. Just, you know, food for thought. But, geez. You know what, maybe I will look inside that with a light just to kind of see if I am missing something, because I'm genuinely curious if that's what it is. So just bear with me here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? No, I don't see it in there. Oh, there it is, underneath the backspacer. Perfect. This one, if you can see this right here, it's numbered under that. Bloop, right there. Hopefully you can see that. So, okay, cool. So they are numbered, just not on the blade. And maybe I'm just kind of confusing that a little bit with the CKFs. Maybe that's why I thought they were there. They're all pretty similar with how they number things for the most part, but anyway. So anyway, pretty cool knife. Love the design on these. I think that this is more of a, I guess, refined version, I'd say, of the T1000, just based on a little bit more milling, a little bit more cutting on the blade. It's actually, I don't know if you can see this, but it's actually finished quite nicely inside of there as well. It's kind of got a bead blast on the inside of that blade as well. And then once again, it's a little different on the inside of that cutout too. Interesting. Thumb studs, you know, I kind of wish the thumb studs were ZircuTi too, just based on the whole thing being ridiculous. I wish it was also thumb studs that were Zirc, but you can't win them all. And then I also am just noticing now there is a hole in the flipper tab there, so I'm kind of curious if there's, so we got a lock here, but I guess you could put a pin through there. Is that the whole point of that? So that if you put a pin there, I guess you could, like a cotter pin. In theory, you could lock it there too, or is that, that's right, you can lock it open as well to make it a fixed blade, basically. That is also really cool. There you go. Yeah, this is definitely silky smooth. They must have a little extra special love on the Zirc stuff, or the fancy stuff, because these, I'd have to look, but table on one of these guys, I think is right around $2,000 US. Just keep that in mind, and the other variants are going to be in that $500, $600, $800, $900, somewhere in there, depending on the clip and all this stuff. But just keep in mind, this is probably the most expensive version of this knife they make. I don't know what else they would do to it to make a more expensive version, but there's not much else you can really do. But you never know. It's so funny too, like these pins would normally look massive on any other knife, but because the blade is so thick, they kind of look small. And that's not the case at all. Oh, I guess we got a lanyard hole. I didn't even mention that. If you want to throw a lanyard on this, I guess you can get in there and have another little thing hanging off. And I guess the design of that lanyard hole cutout too is kind of in spirit of the rest of the knife and how they've kind of done those cutouts as well. So that's pretty nice as well. Big external bend on the lock bar. I'm just noticing that now. Right in there. Big cutout. Kind of hides in plain sight when it's in front of you like this though. You don't really notice how kind of what's going on there. Oh, and even that, I didn't even notice this. Oh my goodness. So inside, I remember earlier I was looking at inside at the skeletonization. They actually have some centering lines cut into this as well. I didn't even realize that. That's actually high tolerance stuff. Kind of right here, and then throughout the back, it's all a big centering line. 1, 2, 3 columns. Yeah, well, I didn't even notice that. So, super cool knife. I don't know who it's for. We'll do some comparisons right now in size, and then we'll wrap it up. It's a robust beast. There's no real, you know, it's going to be for a collector, and you know, any knife that I put in front of this thing is going to look like, let's grab something small like a neon. Like this is going to look like come on, it's not even close. We'll grab our quantum, which will probably bridge it a bit. There's your quantum. Like, oh, you know, size-wise it looks pretty similar. Not really. We'll grab a Custom Division F95. These all just feel so small by comparison. We'll grab a Spartan Harsey. Now we're starting to get into the more substantial pieces, I guess, in terms of size and width. Not technicality. I've got a Hinderer here too. This is an Eclipse full tie. Another big beast of a knife. And then other big stuff, I guess I could use the one I used for all my boxes. A little Blurple S110V Pair 2. Everybody knows what those kind of basically look like. And then, do I have a Sebenza? There we go, my Sebenza as well. Just to give you an idea, like, it's such a massive beast of a knife. It's just not even fair. It's just not even fair to be ranking some of these beside it. And then Pyrenees from Stang Blade Works up in central Alberta. Hard to get knife, locally made. Shout out Derek Stang, pretty cool guy. There's some beasts, some absolute beasts here. In terms of the other Reates, I'm not going to go into them. They're all kind of sealed up. I have all the TTX. I have all the TX228s here with me, but I'm not going to open them up and do comparisons. They're all kind of a little bit different. They're some are. I don't know if there's some are DLC or not. I thought some might be DLC, some might be just regular tie, maybe with a little Zirc accent or ZircuTi. I'd have to look. But how do you not love this? Like, guys, I don't want this video to end because I just love I love the way this looks. There's just so much going on here. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And the camera's freaking out. I can already tell. Like, the sensor on the camera is just straight freaking out because of how much light this thing's throwing off. It does no justice at all to all the light coming off this knife. It's just such a good looking one. And I guess you could actually, if you wanted to, maybe that's the point of having the jimping up top there, now that I look at it. Because you can utilize this little area here and kind of put your finger in it, and then that becomes a very normal zone. That's actually nice balance there as well. It feels quite nice. I imagine the balance is, yeah, very blade heavy with this axe on the front of it. But nonetheless, very cool. Okay, well, I don't want to go too long with this one. I'm probably 10, 15, 20 minutes into this without even trying. Just talking about the knife. I think it's so cool and exciting, and ZircuTi is just the material. Unfortunately, I might have to get into ZircuTi after experiencing this. I've never really been into ZircuTi, but this is really changing that for me, unfortunately. Ah, it's gorgeous. Okay, well, guys, I'll leave you on that, and if you have any questions, leave them below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and you know, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that. Just search BladeZilla. I'm on there, and at some point, this gorgeous ZircuTi one will be up on the site, hopefully soon. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.